Lorain County Commissioners, Betty Blair, Mary Jo Vassie, and David Moore. So we are reusing some of the old, this is an antique
Really?
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
A lot
that
of stuff like that.
be with the historical society there.
Yeah,
Like one of those.
is that a fountain
There
pen?
is one over there.
Is that a fountain pen?
I believe there's one in the
I
time
think the thumb
capsule
up
too.
means we're live and on
Oh,
the air.
alrighty. Good morning. Welcome to the Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting of February 16th, 2021. This meeting will now come to order. We will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And our inspirational word for the day comes from Proverbs. Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts.
Thank you, Commissioner Lundy. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung,
Here.
Commissioner Moore,
Here,
Commissioner Lundy.
Here.
Today we have our first hearing with regard to being issued new floodplain maps. FEMA requires us to update our flood hazard prevention resolution whenever we get new maps. To give us background on this today, I would like to welcome Kristen Brandon from Lorain County Community Development to make a presentation for us today.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'd just like to give you a slight update of where we are with our floodplain maps. FEMA is in the process of issuing new floodplain maps for Lorain County. These new maps will go into effect in March. Whenever new maps are issued, but we are required to update our flood prevention hazard resolution here in Lorain County. These updated regulations that you were provided with were based on a model that was produced by ODNR, and then all we had to do was basically plug and play our county information into that standard regulations. Adopting these minimum standards allows us to continue participating in the National Flood Insurance Program. Highlighted are a few of the changes that are being made to the new regulations. Mostly they are administrative in nature, and this includes new definitions and clarifications of existing definitions for Zone A, E, AO, and AH, flood proofing, conditional letter of map revision, mean sea level, start of new construction, registered professional architect, surveyor and engineer, and variance. There are also additional and updated references to Ohio Revised Code and Ohio Administrative Code. They have clarified that the lowest adjacent grade plus depth shall be used for determining the base flood elevation in AO zones. They have added a requirement that floodproofing certificate be provided with all non-residential permits. They have reduced the effective period of a permit from 1 year to 180 days. They have reduced the threshold for not requiring a permit from $5,000 to $2,500. They have clarified procedures for state and federal jobs. Those are not required to be permitted locally, so they have their own guidelines that they have to follow. And lastly, they have added a statement that if a project is in more than one flood hazard area, that the strictest guidelines shall apply. And that's basically it. So soon we should be getting our draft maps from FEMA, and then, like I said, they'll go into effect later next month.
Was there anything you saw in there that was of concern to you as it relates to
No,
Lorain County?
the biggest
where
change
the
that they've
residents would
made
be
is they've
greatly-
added V zones, which are velocity zones. And that includes wave action, so those affect our lakefront communities. But the unincorporated areas aren't lakefront, so as far as the townships, it's not really going to affect them.
Yeah, because I think I caught part of a public hearing in Avon Lake, and I know some residents there were expressing concern about how it was
Right.
being addressed. So, and you don't see any complications in the rural areas with any of the classifications?
No,
Okay.
Okay. Does that conclude your presentation?
yep, that's it.
Well, I thank you very much for coming in and sharing this information with us today.
You're more than welcome.
Is there any further discussion from the board on this matter?
I just think so the public knows, they update these, what, every 6 or 10 years?
Actually, it's usually much less frequently than that. Our first maps were issued, and I believe it was 1981.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a new map until, I think it was 2008.
Really?
So we went for many years without new product. And then we got the new ones in 2008. And like I said, these ones, they're just a minor modification to include those V zones along the lakefront. So they're very expensive and very time consuming, so we don't get updates that frequently. Now that things are going all digital, it's going to be more likely that we'll get more frequent amendments, but
Is this going to have a, and I'm sorry, just had another question.
Please.
As far as impact, because I know some folks have to buy flood insurance, and
yes.
do we have any idea how this is going to impact those who have to buy flood insurance?
Since they really haven't changed our areas, it'll be the same rules as before, that anyone who has a federally backed mortgage, that their property is in a 100-year flood zone, they are going to be required to have flood insurance on those properties. So that really isn't changing with these new regulations, but I know that the banking industry has really started coming down on people to make sure that they are insured, where for a lot of years they had kind of let that go.
Okay, and Madam Clerk, is this going to be up on the website? Should anybody want to view it from the resolution?
We can do that.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Kristen, I appreciate it. Okay, and we will be moving on to B, other business. Is there any other business?
We have a motion to close the public hearing.
Oh, we're going to close the public hearing? Okay, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Lundy.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to B, other business. Is there any other business?
I have nothing.
Okay, moving on to C, the clerk's report.
Just tomorrow morning at 9:30, February 17th, we'll have a commissioners meeting.
Okay, moving on to D, which is adjournment. So I will make the motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second?
Motion was made by Hung, seconded by Moore. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Hung?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yep.
Commissioner Lundy.
It's unanimous, aye.
We're
All
adjourned.
right. Have a great day out there, folks. Stay warm. Take breaks with the shoveling so we don't overdo it.